The Middle East is standing on a tripwire. Washington and Tehran are exchanging threats over the Strait of Hormuz, while Israel's military actions push the region closer to an all-out war. To defuse this, the international community isn't looking to wealthy Gulf states or European superpowers. The fate of the peace process currently rests with a country battling its own severe economic crisis, Pakistan. The clock is running down. Following the collapse of the April 12th negotiations in Islamabad, the ceasefire has a strict expiration date, and the incoming Trump administration is openly desperate to secure an exit strategy before the shooting starts again. Islamabad recognized this panic and capitalized on it. They engineered their current position through a deliberate three-step diplomatic operation to monopolize the region's communication channels. By exploiting the geopolitical void between hostile nations, Pakistan has leveraged its own need for economic survival into an indispensable role on the global stage. Step 1 required immediate action on the ground. Pakistan deployed its highest military authority, Army Chief Asim Munir, directly to Tehran. While the United States has zero direct leverage with the Iranian government, Munir was greeted with full military honors and open dialogue by Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Washington has entirely exhausted its diplomatic options. They have no other trusted intermediaries left who can actually sit in a room with Iranian leadership. The White House has leaned into this specific connection, with officials now describing Pakistan as the only mediator in these negotiations. For the Trump administration, this channel has become the primary path for delivering messages that Tehran is actually willing to receive. In a standoff where direct communication is severed, the entity that dominates the dialogue with Tehran determines the pace and the content of the peace deal. This explains the sudden pivot in Washington's rhetoric. The White House is now openly praising Pakistan, declaring their mediation efforts incredible and prioritizing them over traditional diplomatic partners. Meanwhile, America's closest regional ally has become a diplomatic liability. Iran refuses to negotiate if Israel is involved, and recently released an AI-generated video mocking Benjamin Netanyahu as the true power driving America's war machine. That isolation is widening. European nations are actively distancing themselves from Israel's military campaign, with Italy announcing a halt to its long-standing defense agreements. But Washington faces another, much larger problem accelerating Pakistan's rise: the very real threat of Chinese expansion. Beijing has aggressively stepped into the region, openly backing Iran's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. To prevent China from controlling the peace process, the U.S. has to urgently support Pakistan's mediation efforts. Empowering Islamabad serves a dual purpose for the U.S. It maintains a secure line to Tehran and builds a defensive firewall against Chinese influence in the Gulf. The final step of the formula moves beyond bilateral messaging. Under Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Pakistan is actively organizing a unified bloc of Islamic nations. Sharif launched a massive diplomatic tour. Meeting across Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Qatar, and Egypt, he is weaving a consensus among regional powers. These states have lost confidence in U.S. protection, making them highly receptive to a regional, non-Western solution. This coordination carries immediate financial rewards. Shortly after these diplomatic pushes, Saudi Arabia transferred $2 billion directly to the State Bank of Pakistan, a clear indicator of Islamabad's newly minted political capital. Saudi billions are now on deposit, and the travel schedule hits every major capital in the region. Islamabad is currently organizing the regional response and positioning itself as the architect of a unified Gulf strategy. There is one major geopolitical player noticeably absent from this entire network: India. Despite New Delhi's historically strong ties and trade relations with Tehran, Iran recently released a list praising nations that support the peace process. India was completely excluded. While Islamabad has been aggressively restructuring global diplomacy to secure its own relevance, New Delhi has remained silent on the international stage, entangled in local political debates. Pakistan has secured a level of access that other regional players currently lack. By adapting to Donald Trump's transactional approach and Iran's security demands, Islamabad has placed itself at the center of the most critical negotiation in the world. This shift changes the balance of power in South Asia. So is this Pakistan's ultimate strategic masterstroke, Or is it India's greatest missed opportunity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like and subscribe.